Hey everyone, Aigey here, and welcome to the next episode of Objectives Over Kills. Today we're going to be talking about jungle and rotations. So let's get started. When you think of a jungler, you typically want to ask yourself, where do I need to start? Well, an important thing to realize is where is your AD carry and support going to be? Whichever side the AD carry and support start on, that's where you want to start as a jungler because it'll give you an easier time in the jungle. You won't have to use as many pots and you'll clear a lot faster. Next, what you want to worry about is what time do you clear jungle? Typically, as a jungler, you should be done with the changes to Smite in Season 4. Be able to clear it from anywhere from about 3:11 to 3:30. And some junglers are a little slower and some are a little faster, obviously. But that's about the average. So if you need to ward against it, if you're in a lane, you can get ready for that. Or you can be sure to know, okay, this other jungler, he's probably going to be done around this time, so I need to be done around that time. Also, another thing to think about are the different kinds of junglers, and we're going to go talk about that for a little bit here. When it comes to different types of junglers, there are control junglers, farming junglers, and ganking junglers. Now, when we think about a control jungler, we think of somebody like Nunu or Shaco. Somebody that can really hold down objectives such as their enemy buffs and your own buffs, Baron, dragon control, even taking towers. Things like that would be an example of a control jungler. Now, when it comes to a farming jungler, we think of somebody like Master Yi or Udyr, somebody that wants to be in the jungle a lot, that will gank, but really wants to farm something like a Feral Flare, or get a lot of kills, get fed, but also stay ahead of the enemy jungler. And finally, ganking jungler, somebody like Nautilus or Jarvan, somebody that just wants to constantly gank lanes, pick up kills, and walk out. But all of the different junglers are good for different reasons, and it's basically, if you're a control jungler, you want to make sure that the enemy jungler gets shut out. If you're a farming jungler, you just want to farm, and you want to gank when you can, and you want to help the lanes when they need to be helped. When you're a ganking jungler, you want to get your first clear, you want to donate your buffs away, and then you want to make sure that your laning is always going to be ahead. And you can win as any type of these junglers, it's just that they all have different playstyles, and you need to understand how those playstyles will work out. And we'll go in depth about that later in another episode. Alright everybody, let's talk about ganking. Okay, so you just finished your first rotation, and now it's time to gank. What are you going to do? What you need to do is you need to pay attention to the minimap and see what's going on. If mid lane's having a problem, you might want to go help them out. Or if top lane's having a problem, you might want to go help them out. Either way, depending on how you start, if you did start with your AD carry and support, your two typical first gank options are either going to be mid or top, since that you can get to them the fastest from the final buff that you clear. When you're playing a laning role, you can also gank. You can use teleport as an option to come down and gank bot lane if you're top, or some champions have the ability to gank like that anyway without using teleport, such as Twisted Fate or Shin. Also, when you're playing a mid laner, you're allowed to roam. You can go to top, you can go to bot, but if you're really ahead in mid lane and there's not much going on, you can help the other lanes win their lane, and will essentially help you later if you're able to blow summoners, which is another thing I want to talk about when it comes to ganking. Successful gank, at least from my own opinion, is when you're able to use up the enemy team's resources, such as summoner spells, health pots, mana pots, just anything that gets them uneasy about laning against you or anyone else on your team. That will assist you later in game because it'll make it hard for them to farm, because they'll mess up and they'll think about stuff differently. Oh, am I getting camped? People will get frustrated. Just ganking can be very influential to winning or losing a lane. Alright guys, thanks for watching this episode of Objectives Over Kills. If you could also like and subscribe below, it would mean a lot to me. Don't worry, thoughts and suggestions are also welcome, so please feel free to leave those as well. Alright guys, thanks again.